Can I keep going? Okay. In a different stacking activity, books were removed from a stack and the height was measured and recorded below. So notice that the X is now the number of books that we removed. The number of books that we removed. So we have to fill out the table first. So let's figure out what our slope is. What's happening on the y-axis? I'm subtracting 4 each time as I add 1. And that's because I'm removing books. So my slope is -4. And that means that the stack is getting 4 centimeters shorter with each book that I remove. That's what that means. The stack is getting 4 centimeters shorter with each book that you take away. So do the points of this graph lie on a line? Is this going to make a line? If each time I take away a book, I remove 4 inches, is that linear? Is that a constant rate of change? Take away 4, take away 4, take away 4, take away 4? Yes. So they are going to fall in a line. If so, does the line rise or fall? Meaning, does it go up or does it go down? It goes down. The line falls. So I'm going to put the line falls, and then I'm going to put goes down. The line falls. Okay. What is the y-intercept of this graph? And remember that the y-intercept happens when x equals 0. So the y-intercept equals 200. Good job, Kate. What does this tell us about the initial stack? Well, it tells us that the stack is how tall?
200 centimeters. Yeah.
It's 200 centimeters tall when I have no books removed, right?
Yeah.
When 0 books are removed. Oh my gosh, I just smashed those 2 words together. Did anybody see that? Are removed. Okay. Each time you remove a book, the stack decreases by, I just wrote that over here. How much does it decrease by? 4 centimeters. Each time we take a book, the stack gets 4 centimeters smaller. What does this number represent in our equation? Represents our slope. We already talked about what it represents in the context of the problem. It's this right here. Write an equation for the height. Who can write me an equation? We know what our slope is. We know what our y-intercept is.
Y equals 200x plus -4. Wait, did I say that wrong?
You did. Try again.
Y equals -4x plus 200.
Very good. Y equals -4x plus 200. Very nice, ma'am. Okay. All right. A cab charges a boarding rate in addition to the meter, which charges $2 for every mile, which is very expensive. Identify the quantities that represent the domain and the range. So this is like saying $2 per mile. For every is the same thing as per. So what number represents the x? Like the x value is going to be what? And the y value is going to be what? X is talking about the number of, the more of this we drive, the more expensive our trip is. X is talking about the number of miles. X is the number of miles. Y is the total cost of the cab ride. Okay. Write a function that represents the cost of riding in this cab. So this is my per or my M, and this is my what? B. So can we write an equation? What is it?
Y equals 2x plus 3.
Good job. It asks if this function is discrete or continuous. Open your eyes, sir. Is this function discrete or continuous? What did we say the last one? The last time it asked us a question about that, we said that the input can only be what? If it's discrete, that means that the input is only what?
It's a whole number.
It's a whole number. Can I go 3.5 miles or 3.7 miles or 3.9 miles, or can I only go whole miles?
Whole mile. Whole mile.
Yeah, you can do decimal, you can do points of a mile, right? We can input something, and here's why. Because a mile can be measured in like units, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. A book can't. We can't have 1/10 of a book. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So is this going to be discrete or continuous? Discrete means it's just going to be whole number inputs, only points. It's going to be continuous. This is going to be continuous. And I'm going to say why. Because the input miles can be decimals. It can be tenths, hundredths, thousandths. It doesn't have to be a whole unit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, we're almost done. Number 4, a party planner has a limited budget for the upcoming event. She'll need to figure out how much it will cost her client to rent a space and pay per person for the meals. The cost of the rental space is $780, and the price per person is $975. So we're going to write a function. We're going to write y equals, and then we'll substitute in those variables. So write a linear function to calculate the total cost for any number of people in attendance. So what is my M and what is my B? What is my slope, my cost per person? Say again. It is 9.75. And my y-intercept? 780. So this is the equation y equals 9.75x plus 780. But it wants us to use C of P, which is much like F of X and P. P stands for the number of people. So I'm going to rewrite this equation, and I'm going to replace the y with the C of P, and I'm going to replace the x with the P. So C of P equals the cost per person is $9.75 per person plus 780. So it says using this function, calculate the cost for 50 people. This means evaluate this function when P is 50. How do I show that in terms of math? What do I have to write? C of, what do I put in the parenthesis? I'm replacing the P with what? With a 50. C of 50 equals 9.75 times 50 plus 780. So C of 50, I hope someone's got a calculator because my brain is too tired to do that. 9.75 times 50 plus 780 is $1,200, God bless you, $1,267 and how much? 75 cents? I didn't hear you. 0.05 or 0.5? That's 50 cents, right? Money has two decimals, okay? So this is my cost, $1,267.50. If the client's budget, meaning the total amount that they can spend, is $1,750, what is the maximum number of guests? So this is the C of P value. So we're going to replace C of P with 1750 equals 9.75 P plus 780. And we're going to solve for P. And I think Kane already did that. We're going to subtract 780 from both sides. So 970 equals 9.75 P. What'd you get, Kane? 99 people. Can someone else verify that? I think you're right. 970 divided by 9.75 equals, yep, 99 people. It's really 99.48, but can you bring 0.48 of a person? What's that look like? Hey, I'm just going to bring your thigh and your arm to this party. I hope you enjoy it, right? So 99 people. Are you guys with me? Okay, because you have homework like this. For numbers 5 through 7, we're going to do just what we did in that beginning 1 through 4. We're going to write the function that describes the situation, identify the domain and the range, and then answer the question. So first of all, let's see if we can do M and B. And then we'll do what X equals and what Y equals. Travis rented a stump grinder for $100 plus $10 per hour. God bless you. What is my initial fee and what is my slope? Initial fee, Naya. What is the initial fee? That's got the word per next to it, right? $100 is my initial fee. If it has the word per next to it, that means that stands for the slope. So my slope is 10. Well, let's see. We're talking about the total cost to rent the stump grinder. So Y is the total cost for the stump grinder. But what does X stand for? X is the number of what? Yeah, number of hours. Who was that? Good job. X is the number of hours. So can we write an equation? Yeah, what is it, Amira?
Y equals 100. Is it X? Oh wait, 10 X plus 100.
Good job. So the question says, how much is it going to cost if I rent this stump grinder for 6 hours? Well, that's the same thing as saying let X equal 6, right? So Y equals 10 times 6 plus 100. So Y, my total cost is, what's 10 times 6? Plus 100 is 160. It's going to cost $160 to have that stump grinder for 6 hours. That's pretty inexpensive. I've rented a stump grinder before. All right. Robert earned an hour for painting a garage plus a bonus. He earned $22.50 an hour plus the bonus of $50. He worked for 6 hours. How much did he earn? So let's do the same thing. Let's identify our slope and our y-intercept. Let's say what X means and what Y means. And then let's write an equation. So how much do I make per hour? 22.5. That's my slope. What's my bonus or my upfront fee? 50. Yeah, that's my bonus money, $50. X represents the number of, how much am I getting paid for each what? Each hour, number of hours. Y is going to be the total amount that I earn. I'm going to put total $sign earned. Is that okay? So I don't have to write money. So equation, what do you think, Aiden? What's the equation going to be?
Y equals 22.5 x plus 50.
Good job. And if I work for 6 hours, how much money do I make? So y equals 22.5 times 6 plus 50. Calculator bunny. Any bunny? $185. Okay. Last one. This is much like the apples on the front. A mail order company sells peanuts for $4.50 per pound plus $5.95 shipping and handling. How much would 5 pounds of peanuts cost? What is my slope and what is my y-intercept? Eric, what is my slope? Yeah, 4.5. What is my y-intercept, Kate?
5.95.
Good job. X stands for the, what am I paying for?
Per pound.
Yeah, the number of pounds. Y is the total cost of the peanuts. To ship peanuts. Okay. Equation. Daniel, you got an equation for me? You got a y equals mx plus b for me? Plus 5. Yep, perfect. Dakota, if I buy 5 pounds, that's the same thing as saying let x equal 5 pounds. What's that going to cost me? Do you have a calculator over there? Daniel does. Calculate it up. He already did it? What'd he get?
I didn't do it. You said he did.
Oh, what'd you do? What'd you get?
32.25.
32.45? Is that what you got, Daniel, when you did it? Yeah. $32.45 for 5 pounds of peanuts. I hope they're delicious. Okay. All right. So you have 17 questions. 17 questions. You may work with someone, but some of you need to take your quiz. Some of you need to take your quiz.